So, it's a little experiment I'm trying to do. A friend of mine suggested I should actually hold my phone horizontally rather than vertically, to just make a better. Yeah, he said, "Oh, you look silly." I said, "Well, I am a little bit silly anyway. But such is life." So I have no idea how this is going to turn out, and I try to edit my little clips as little as possible. They should really serve as a sort of visual diary. I've been meaning to um, write a diary for probably about 40 years, and I've had various attempts, but never managed anything on a daily basis or anything that's comprehensive. But it's just nice to have, a diary, and you can go back on it, reflect on it. So yes, here I go. So today I don't really have a subject as such, but just random thoughts. Um, yep, and experiment, which is really something I like quite a lot. To just experiment, try things out. If they don't work, you don't do them again. If they do work, then that's great. They can improve your life. So, and I think it's something that we are not encouraged at school, or even at university, college. We're not encouraged to experiment, whereas experiment can be, yeah, as I said, it's great. I love it. So one of the better experiments that I've done probably was when I was doing a BA in fine art from 1991 to 1995 at Reading University. And basically the university increased their fees so much that I couldn't afford it. So they said they wouldn't give me my certificate, my BA papers, which I'm happy. It's just a piece of paper which I've never needed to use in my life. But basically, when it came to the final degree show, in preparation, I did a little dumpling in a jam jar about 6 months prior, and that then was placed on a pillar in my exhibition at Reading University at the Fine Art Department. And then when the Vice Chancellor came in, I opened the jar, and it made everybody leave that space fairly quickly, because the smell after 6 months in a jam jar was quite unbearable. Right, I'll take the dogs outside now. So again, that was an experiment. I had no idea how. I just had the intuition of pooing in a jam jar and letting it release its gases all. So that was an experiment that I'm quite proud of. Then I had another experiment when it was during the poll tax. Thousands of people were taken to court for non-payment, including a lot of students who only lived in Reading temporarily. So there was various actions, and our aim was to try and clog up the courts. And one of the things I did was I bought a stink bomb in a little glass bottle at a carnival store. I went in the magistrate's court and put it on the floor and stamped on it, so broke it, and then it stank out the whole magistrate's court. And basically there was 4 courts, and all of them were cleared for probably about an hour or 1.5, which meant that obviously they couldn't process any poll tax non-payers. Yeah, so I'm rather proud of that fact. And you probably, in future blogs, will hear other quirky little things that I'm actually quite proud of. I'll take that to my grave quite happily. Um, is that right, Lukey? With you, I haven't really done any experiments, have I, Lukey? No. No, I don't like to experiment with my dogs, really, because that wouldn't be very nice. So, it's, yeah, I'm coming almost to the end. Maybe just before I go, something's happened to the salad seedlings, which I wanted to show you. Here we go. Now, 4 of them are quite happy. 1, 2, 3, 4. But 4 of them look a little bit sad. Well, actually, here there's a little bit of hope here on that one. Oh, and then this one as well. So there's and this one. Oh, actually, yes. But this one's probably fairly dead. This one here. All right. Oh well, that's okay. So at the moment, I'm trying to persuade my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, that we should go out, go for a walk at the Effington White Horse. And yeah, I think she's warming up to the idea. And then my son is working, and I have to pick him up at 10 o'clock tonight. Yes. So here is a piece that I did at Heatherley's Foundation course in London about 30 years ago, maybe 29. And it's basically a sort of monochrome of artists probably doing a life drawing. So I thought, instead of painting the model, I'll just paint the students who painted the model. So there you go. I will probably show you some more work that I've done. So I have been getting some feedback from friends, mainly one-to-one, but what I'd like to encourage people to do is maybe, if there's something you didn't like, then maybe just put it in the comments. That would be lovely. I do want to keep these blogs improvised, really, because I'm interested in doing work generally that other people can do as well. So to come away from an elitist type approach in everything I do, everything that I put out. Yes, I'm not so much interested in the wow factor generally. There's much more interest in, actually, for me, in yeah, in being boring. I don't mind being boring, and I have said many times I will one of these days write a book on being bored. Yes, maybe this is not the right media to talk about boredom, but really, kids these days aren't allowed to be bored anymore because they have all these gadgets. And I think it's actually, boredom is very important, because boredom is the space between having ideas. So if you're bored for half an hour, it means half an hour ago you had an idea, you came off that idea, then when you're not bored anymore after half an hour, that means you've had another idea. You go and do something, or you think something. Because we're always thinking something. Maybe when we're meditating we're not, but other than that. So yes, boredom how important it is, and that you're missing something in your life if you've never been bored, if you don't know what that feels like. If you don't know what it feels like to have no idea for a certain amount of time. But boredom quite often leads to the most exciting things happening just after that period of when you're bored. Okay, that's enough about that. So from Lukey, where's my Lukey? Where is he? There is my Lukey from Muffy. There's Muffy. Here, Muffy. Yes, this is my boy. Goodbye from Muffy. Yeah, come and smell. And goodbye from Lukey. Yes, here we go. Yes. Goodbye from Lukey. Here we go. No, don't. You want to lick the screen? Go and lick the screen. Yeah, lick. Licky. Yes, it's a good lick. Yep, smell the phone. That's